Imagine standing in the middle of the woods, surrounded by trees and silence, holding nothing but an axe and a handsaw. No power tools, no electricity, just your two hands and some determination. And now imagine that by the end of this journey, you're sipping coffee inside a warm, sturdy cabin that you built yourself. This is not fantasy. Building a small off-grid cabin with only hand tools is not only possible, it's one of the most satisfying, liberating experiences you can have. It's slow, methodical, and humbling, but when you're finished, every cut of wood and every notch in the logs tells a story. Your story. In today's episode, I'm going to walk you through exactly how to build a simple, functional off-grid cabin using nothing but hand tools. No generators, no circular saws, no nail guns. This is raw, old-school craftsmanship, the kind your great-grandfather would respect. Let's get started. Step 1 in planning and site selection. Before the first tree falls, you need a plan. Choosing the right location is absolutely crucial. Look for a dry, elevated area that's not in a flood zone. Ideally, it should be close to a water source, but not so close that spring rains wash you out. South-facing slopes are best in colder climates. They catch more sun and help with heating. Think small. For a hand-built cabin, something in the 100 to 200 square foot range is ideal. That's enough space for a bed, a small wood stove, and some shelves. You're not building a mansion, you're building a shelter. Now take a notebook and sketch a simple floor plan. One room, maybe a small porch. Think function over form. The simpler the design, the less time you'll spend carving joints in the cold. Engaging hook. Ever heard the saying, measure twice, cut once? When you're using only hand tools, measure 3 times. Because every mistake is a blister, not a buzz of a power saw. And your energy is your currency out here. You want to spend it wisely. Step 2. Choosing and felling trees. The most traditional cabins are made from logs, and you can source those right from your land. Look for straight, tall trees like pine fir, spruce, or cedar. They're relatively lightweight and rot resistant. Avoid twisty trees or anything with excessive knots. You'll need a good felling axe, a crosscut saw, and a cant hook for rolling logs. And yes, it's going to take some time, but the rhythm of the hand feeling is deeply rewarding. Every swing teaches you something about wood balance and your own patience. Aim for trees about 8 to 10 inches in diameter. You'll need anywhere from 15 to 30 logs depending on your cabin size and wall height. Once felled, remove the limbs and strip the bark. Bark holds moisture and bugs. Get rid of it as soon as possible. A draw knife makes short work of this. Stack your logs on skids off the ground to dry slightly before use. Step 30, foundation and floor. Now let's talk about the foundation. You're not pouring concrete out here. You're working with stone, gravel, or even buried posts. One classic method is the pier foundation. Dig holes about 2 feet deep at each corner and in the center of each wall. Place flat stones or concrete blocks at the base and set heavy treated logs or cedar posts vertically as support. Make sure everything's level and square. This is the backbone of your cabin. Get it right. Then frame a simple floor using logs or rough sawn lumber. Mortise and tenon joints can be carved with chisels and mallets, or you can use lap joints with strong wooden pegs. A hand brace with a drill bit lets you bore holes for dowels or spikes. Once the frame is in place, lay your floorboards, planed and fitted by hand. A draw knife, hand plane, and mallet are your friends here. Let's pause for a second. How many people do you know who can say they built their own cabin with an axe? In a world of instant gratification and prefab everything, this is a return to something ancient. You're not just building shelter. You're reclaiming a skill that goes back thousands of years. Step 4, log walls. Now comes the heart of it, raising the walls. There are a few techniques: saddle notch, dovetail notch, or simple lap joints. Saddle notches are easiest for beginners and work well with round logs. You'll carve notches at the ends of each log to interlock them tightly at the corners. This is the longest, slowest part of the build. Each log must be selected, lifted, notched, and laid precisely. Use a level and plumb bob to keep your corners true. Chisel, mallet, handsaw, and patience. Those are your tools now. As you go higher, use a ladder or scaffold to position the logs. Some people rig up block and tackle pulleys using tree limbs to hoist heavier logs. Use gravity and leverage to your advantage. Remember to alternate the direction of the heartwood and crown of the logs to balance settling. And always pre-notch your logs before lifting them into place. It saves time and fingers. Step 5. Doors and windows. Once your walls reach the desired height, usually 6 to 8 feet, it's time to cut out openings for the door and windows. Use a crosscut saw and chisel to make clean openings. Frame the openings with heavy lumber or squared logs. These provide structural support and prevent the logs from sagging over time. Doors can be made from vertical planks nailed to cross braces, or even from a single wide board if you're lucky. Hinges can be salvaged, blacksmithed, forged, or fashioned from wood with wooden pegs. Yes, it's old school, but it works. Windows are tricky. Many off-grid builders skip glass entirely and use plexiglass or clear plastic sheets set in wooden frames. Hinge shutters are a nice touch and help insulate at night. Step 6. Roof structure. Your roof will determine how long your cabin lasts. A simple gable roof works well and sheds snow efficiently. Cut 2 opposing rafters and notch them at the ridge to interlock. Repeat every 2 feet, securing each pair with wooden pegs or lashing. Use purlins across the rafters, then cover with overlapping boards, split shingles, or even a tarp in the beginning. Cedar or aspen shingles can be split using a froe and mallet, though it takes time. The steeper your pitch, the better it'll shed rain and snow. Don't skimp here. A leaky roof is the beginning of the end for any cabin. Step 70. Insulation and sealing. You've got a solid log shell, but wind and bugs will find the cracks. That's where chinking comes in. Traditional chinking was a mix of mud, moss, straw, and lime. Today, many builders use a combination of clay and natural fiber or commercial chinking products. Push the chinking deep into the gaps between logs using a trowel or spatula. Moss makes a great natural insulator. Just stuff it into narrow seams before applying clay. Inside, you can line the walls with fabric, boards, or just leave them exposed. Rustic charm is part of the appeal. Step 80. Heating and cooking. Most off-grid cabins rely on wood heat. A small cast iron stove is ideal, but if you're truly going full hand tool, consider building a cob rocket stove or open hearth. Install a metal chimney or flue pipe with care. Fire safety is everything. Use stone or brick for the base and wall protection behind the stove. Keep a bucket of sand nearby for emergencies. A warm cabin in the dead of winter. Heated by your own hand split firewood. There's nothing like it. Step 9. Furnishings and finish. Build your own furniture to match the style. A simple wooden bunk, shelves from log slabs, maybe a table made from milled planks. Oil your floors and counters with linseed oil or beeswax for durability. Hang tools, lanterns, and essentials on the wall. Keep it sparse, useful, and sturdy. Off-grid life rewards utility. Every piece should earn its place. Think about this. In the time it takes most people to binge, watch a show or doom scroll for a few weekends, you could be out in the woods shaping your own legacy. One notch, one beam, one wall at a time. You don't need a contractor. You don't need a degree. You need determination, sharp tools, and respect for the process. Hand building a cabin is slow work, but it's real work, and it lasts. And there you have it, your guide to building a small off-grid cabin using only hand tools. From forest to foundation, wall to roof, you've learned how to shelter yourself the old-fashioned way. It's a skill few possess today, but those who do live a little freer. If this inspired you to grab an axe and hit the woods, let us know in the comments. Share your favorite hand tools, your cabin dreams, or your off-grid build stories. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and check out our other episodes on solar cooking, rainwater collection, and more. Back to the land skills. Until next time, stay wild, stay sharp, and build something worth living in.